I failed the California bar exam. I just sat for it in July of 2023. I graduated from law school in May of 2023, and the feeling is bad. I'm not feeling great. Most of the people that I graduated with did pass. I went to a pretty good law school here in California. When I got the result, my cat just shut down the video. Okay, so what was I saying? I failed the California bar exam and I feel very ashamed about it. And I don't know any other way to work through that shame aside from letting more people know about it, shining light on the shadow. The California bar exam is a 2-day exam that is administered twice a year. You sit from, I think, like 8:30 to 4:30 or 5. You do 200 multiple choice questions one day, and you do 6 essays on the other day. So it's pretty grueling. They famously, they being the test makers or whatever, the test graders, call it a marathon, not a sprint. They also famously call it a minimum competency exam. That's right, people. I am not minimally competent. And neither are you if you failed. But if you passed, then you are. Pretty nice to know. Basically, you cannot file anything with the court. You can't, I'm gonna sue you. You can't sue anybody until you get sworn in, and you can't get sworn in California until you pass the bar exam. That's not the only thing you have to do. You also have to graduate from an ABA, American Bar Association accredited law school. You need to pass the MPRE, which I don't know what that stands for, but it's the Professional Ethics Multiple Choice Exam. And you also have to pass a moral character and fitness application. Once all those things are complete, then you can sue whoever you want. So I failed the exam, and so I can't do any of those things. Luckily I have a great job. It doesn't involve anything that would put me in a position to do that. But it does feel strange that I went to law school for 3 years, and then I finished law school, which in itself felt really hard to do, and then I couldn't pass the test that would allow me to do the job I went to law school for. I'm over $100,000 in debt, and I feel insecure about it. I feel like a loser. I feel like I wasted my life at law school. This is ridiculous. This is a not logic brain, right? This is a very emotional thing, right? It's a experience that's full of shame. A few days after the test, the people who take the test get their results. The State Bar of California, which is like the people who administer the exam, they post a pass list. So everyone who passes gets publicly posted on their website, and it's great, right? You can look up anyone by name, figure out, oh, they passed. If you look up my name, it won't pop up because I didn't pass. So it's very public. So that's the first thing. The second thing is there's swearing in ceremonies that are really public. So I'm experiencing a lot of shame around not being on the public list. I'm experiencing a lot of shame around not being sworn in at the same time as my peers. I'm experiencing a lot of shame around how much debt I have and how restrictive that is. And I'm experiencing a lot of shame around how much time I've invested in what feels as though it's culminated into a failure. A failure. When you go onto the California State Bar site to check your results, it says status fail. Whoa. How are you supposed to fight with that? I've had people say, don't say you failed the California bar exam. Say you just haven't passed yet. I started studying a few days ago because I'm going to be working full time. Normally people say you need to take off time to study. But I can't, which is fine. I have a great job, but so this dinky little situation here is my study schedule. Basically, every weekend leading up to the exam, I'm going to outline essays, right? Sort of do a crash course in memorizing the materials. I actually finished contracts already for my first weekend. So you can see all this stuff. And this is all for memorizing. Luckily, it's not new material. That's what's sort of weird about studying again, is I studied this in a full bar prep course. And then during the week, Monday through Friday, I'll do multiple choice practice tests and review those, write down what I got wrong, write down why what I answered is wrong, and write down why the correct answer is correct. And then if it's an answer that I got correct, but I don't think I got it correct for the right reason, then I'll also make sure to write down why it's correct, right? So that's another way of memorizing, because one thing that I think is really important for this exam is just memorization of the black letter law, which just means the law as it is on the books. So yeah. And then the way my schedule is set up, the last 2 weeks right before the exam, I have time to do practice tests, like practice essay, practice essay, practice essay. And then I'll sprinkle in little practice essays and what's called a California performance test, which is just a sort of like closed universe practice essay throughout the next few months. And that's what I'm going to do. It's terrible. I've been crying a lot. I can't sleep at night, but it sort of seems like that's just how it has to be right now. I'm making this video as a screenshot in time of how much shame I feel, of how difficult it is, and as a record of something that I can come back and look at later and be like, so that's where I was at. I don't think I'll forget, but I don't know. I also don't think there's a lot of people open about, I failed the exam, because it sucks, because it's a terrible feeling, especially when, pretty much everyone you know passed. But that's all right. So putting it out there. I failed the California bar exam. It sucks. I'm retaking in February. I feel like I didn't say that ever, but that's pretty important to say as well. And that's just how it is. So, yeah. All right. Well, I don't anticipate this is going to be anything except for me. So, future me, let me know what's up. How'd we do? Or maybe we'll check in before and see if the study plan that we came up with is working. And that's it. So, yeah. All right. Well, thanks. Bye. Goodbye.